Thank you. Have a good night. Appreciate it. Yeah, so she was on the sidewalk doing the upside down peace sign. Right? Look. How he moved from all the way over here. Look what I'm gonna do. Look. I gotta laugh in their face sometimes because it looks silly. I keep telling y'all, when they start getting aggressive and bold, well, when they start getting aggressive and bold, I'll do the same thing too. You tell them ain't no fear here. Ain't no fear here. All right, none whatsoever. Ain't no fear here. All right, using the red theme. Again, there was a young teenager that came on the bus. He was drinking Arizona also. This is how he's standing there drinking Arizona. All right, like you said, they're not using the red theme as much today as they've done past couple of, I should say for the past 2 weeks, because I've been exposing their asses. So now what it is that they're doing, again, is using it very sparingly, right? Because that's what they do. They hit you with a blitz, they oversaturate certain things, particularly when it comes to color, and then all of a sudden they'll start to ease off and then do it very subtly, right? As I talk about that, right? You know what I'm saying? So being able to explain and expose what it is that they're doing, right? And to show people exactly what it is that they do. You walking over here. Come over here, buddy. I got something for you. Yeah, you're a part of the department using this sirens? I said, come over here. Now, why is he coming over here? Look, he's standing over here. He's looking at another red vehicle. Yeah, fuck you, you're a part of the department. Yeah, fuck you. That's what they do. I want to show you guys. Ain't no fear here. No fear. All right? You gotta be sick in the mind if you think I'll be afraid of you motherfuckers. All right? And here's the thing, because they can no longer manipulate me, all right, you'll start to see them, again, act in a very aggressive manner, which is fine, you know. Do the whole color shit. All right, take the empty water bottle out of my pocket and hitting it on the post that he's standing next to. Oh yeah. Let me tell you, I am well trained in terms of how to fight back in terms of the psychological manipulation and the psychological warfare that they waged against me. I am well trained. Like I said, I observe, I learn, I research what it is that they're doing. So there ain't nothing that they're going to do that's going to surprise me. All right? Nothing. Particularly when you understand believers' mindset and those in cults, that they're willing to do anything to control, to manipulate, right? To profit off of us. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't nothing that they will do or can do that I don't already know and expect them to do. All right? So again, that's where New York President Department using this side. And I talk about the criminal behavior, the criminality, and when people understand who we are dealing with criminals who are in positions of authority. And then you have within that criminal organization, as with any criminal organization, you will have subsection of different criminal organizations. It's like the mafia. The mafia have many different businesses, right? Illegal businesses, right? They're involved in drugs, racketeering, construction working, that sort of thing, weapons dealing. You know what I'm saying? So within the criminal organization known as predator law enforcement, you also have predator officers who are engaged in many multifaceted criminal activities. You got to look at, when you start to look at the system in its true nature, right, you understand the reason why it's called a criminal system or criminal justice system, because those that operate within the criminal justice system, the true criminals, right, are always looking to justify their criminality on the public, and they will create agendas, particularly when they're beholden to wealthy individuals who we see they have allowed to get away with the things that they will call a person who was engaging in the same type of behavior a monster or what have you, right? But somehow these people are not considered as such, where they can get on, where they can have forums and talk about, well, our technology, can be used to kill people, and they think that it's okay, well, some people are going to get killed anyway, so hey, or we got to make them more afraid of us, and so forth. We got to always make them afraid. It tells you their agenda, but people are not listening. People are not listening, right? They are not listening. Okay? People are not listening. So I want them to know, ain't no fear here. You come to attack me, I'm gonna put you down first. Know that. Okay. Whether it be psychologically or whatever else, I'm gonna defend myself. Waiting for her to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get too close to her. Next thing you know, she talk about, I brush up on her and shit like that. Exactly. So just have some patience with me, my brother. Come on, you know. You know what I'm saying? That's right. That's all you gotta be very careful. I'm telling you. Even for a man like you, right? You gotta be very careful, man. See how careful you gotta be? It comes up that quick. Careful. School bus. This stop is Remsen Avenue and Lincoln Boulevard. Tell you, man, back in my younger days, you go out, you dance with a young woman, if you grab the butt, some of them like it, some of them will move your hand. Yep. Now, if you do it now, you become famous. You become famous. They charging you with essay and all this shit, right? So we're in a society where women are incentivized through money to make all kind of accusations against men. You know what I'm saying? And so, particularly for us as black men, we gotta get that mindset back where we have to be able to take control of our community, because these liberals, right? And I'm a liberal, but these liberals have taken it to the point where they're destroying the relationship between men and women. The ideologies are twisted. I have a son. My son is 24 years old. And from the time he was 18, I send him what is called consent forms. Mm-hmm. And I said, if you ever have such anybody, you make sure that you sign it and that they sign it. That they agree. Don't go by their feelings. You know what I'm saying? Because I told him, I said, the society we are moving into, if a woman is mad at you, she going, you know what I'm saying? So I said, you make sure that she signed that consent form before you get into any sort of sexual activity with her. You understand? Too many of us don't quite realize what is happening. And they have been doing this for a long time. They've been planning this. They've been weaponizing us against each other in ways that we don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, that's why there is no black leadership, no black male leadership. Women don't look at us as leaders because the only how you can be a leader in their eyes is money. You got to lead with your wallet. You can't tell them nothing, but they can tell you whatever it is they want to tell you.
Finish, please. The door is right there.
Yeah, but we gotta understand that, and particularly our women. Our women are the nation builders. They create the nation, right? Without them, we can't reproduce. But they have to understand that without us, they can't be protected. If they think they're being protected in the system, they're in for a rude awakening, because they are being used, and then when they finish being used, they're going to be discarded. All right?
What's unfortunate is so many sisters in their 30s.
You gotta go up more, man. You gotta go up more. And they 60s. Okay? Yep. Listen, man. Listen. Hold on. Here's the thing. And we got to understand what's really happening, right? Even though I talk what I say, which is the truth, I understand that war has been waged against us as black people, and I understand that we are dealing with people who have advanced technology that they lie to us about. Use psychological manipulation that they lie to us about, right? Covert operation in our community that they lie to us about. But here's the thing, because they don't understand their own mind, and they'll tell you they understand it, right? But you see, my brother, the majority of our people are believers, right? Go look at the definition of what a believer's mind is, and how people with a believer's mind, when it comes to authority, how they will be easily influenced and manipulated by those in authority, simply because they have what is called a belief.
That belief system.
Right. You understand?
Yeah, I do.
No knowledge.
Yeah, nothing.
No knowledge.
Come on, step inside, my friend.
All right. Listen, Marcus Garvey said, and again, this is why we need to educate our people on Marcus Garvey and others, right? And he was right. In the 1920s, Marcus Garvey said, and this was true, that black people are the creators of civilization.
That's right.
Black people are the creators of math, philosophy, science, what have you, right? So here's Marcus Garvey in the 1920s telling black Americans this. Even though he's from Jamaica, didn't see them as a different people. But today, they have us bickering and fighting against each other, and we're different, right? Because of our, without understanding that they took whole families, that they may send a brother in Brazil, a sister in the Caribbean, and you know what I'm saying here. So we are everywhere, and we are connected more than we know, right? Then let's look at the situation in the West when it comes to America, South America, and the Caribbean. One of the greatest evil that committed besides slavery is called breeding farms.
Oh my God!
Right?
I just watched a video on that, man.
So why they don't talk about that?
You can't talk about that, bro.
Right?
It's not going to outrage anyone, because the people that
Can I get that too?
the generation that got outraged off of real knowledge has gotten old and been killed off.
Right, and been silenced. And they've been silenced. Okay?
Like, yo, King's generation was that generation.
Nah, man. Let me tell you something. A lot of people don't realize that Dr. King, because even though he was a pastor, right? That he understood the true creation and aspect of Christianity. If you go and you read his dissertation, which he wrote to get his seminary degree, go and read that. It's at the Stanford University website, right? He talks about how Christianity, right, was created by the Romans, right, that used other different cultures. He talks about Heru, right, Isis, not Isis, but Aset, Asar, and Heru, right, which is the Egyptian Trinity, but not Trinity of gods. Understand? Trinity meaning that the man, woman, and the child. right? No. That's Greek terminology, man.
Yeah, but I mean, you know,
It's Aset,
I said
Asar, and Haru, right? So when we continue to use their language, right, we are losing not just that, but we are losing our history because they have taken over exactly. So when you know, man, woman, and child, family, that's the Trinity, right? When we talk about reincarnation, we're not talking about reincarnation where you die and you come back. That's not reincarnation. To the Africans, they understood that reincarnation means that you and the woman, your wife or whoever, that when you reproduce, you are reincarnating yourself into a new person. Though that new person have their own consciousness, but within their self is you. You understand? This is why when your child is born, your child may look like you, may look like your grandfather, you know, grandmother, what have you. You know what I'm saying? That is what they mean, right? The Europeans couldn't understand that because they are antithetical to African belief system, not even to belief system, but African spiritual system and African sacred science.
You know what it really is? That's what they put out there to the public. But the truth of the matter is, when they behind closed doors, they're reading the African scriptures.
Exactly. Let me tell you. Do you know who created the Big Bang Theory?
Who created it?
Yeah, the Big Bang Theory. Who came up with the theory?
No.
The Big Bang Theory.
I don't know the actual scientists behind it. No, I don't.
Would you say that person was an atheist, a non-believer in God, or a believer in God? My brother, no.
Yeah,
That theory was created by a Catholic priest.
Well, see,
Right?
not all of them.
No. This,
Believe.
because they understand. Listen, no, they understand the truth, right? But oh yeah. Yeah, I can step out. All right, another bus driver who's a clerk on the bus. But like I said, you know, they'll be sending some new ones here. But education is key. You know what I'm saying? Open up their minds to the truth and the reality. You know, or he could be a damn cop. Who knows, right? But he's going to get this work. He's going to get this knowledge. You gonna get this knowledge, man. You gotta share it. My brothers and sisters need to be awakened to what's going on. Like I said, when your purpose is greater, they're gonna do everything to try to shut you down. All right? So when you know that, then you do everything to enlighten your people or the people around you. Tell them I'll make them pay. I'll make them pay daily. They are not going to do this to other young black people or anybody else. It's never going to happen. Black power, motherfuckers. Doesn't mean that we're going to oppress anybody. It just means that we say black power because we understand the power of who we are, our history, the truth. All right? Unlike white power, which seeks to oppress people. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Now here's another question.
Yeah.
Who created the study of genealogy?
That was study of genealogy.
Yeah, or who they call the father of genealogy, genetic studies.
What's his name? Give me a second. Darwin.
Nah, bro. That's the theory of evolution.
Evolution.
The theory of genealogy came from another Catholic priest. You see?
They were the only ones who were studying this stuff, man. They were getting
Listen.
scriptures from Egypt and giving their own freaking interpretation on it.
That's exactly what. And here's the thing. You know, they never teach you about the Moors, which are right, the black Moors.
I'll tell you something they never teach you.
Right?
You ever heard of the Mali civilization?
Of course.
Do you know
Right.
the Mali civilization? Do you know how vast the Mali civilization
Of course.
was?
They blew it up. They blew it. The Mali, the Songhai, the Ashanti, they blew it up. They wrote in their books how they went into Ashanti land and saw 2-story buildings, libraries with books, and they burned it all down. They took some of the books and they burned the rest down. Right? And then they tell us about, them civilizing us, right? But it's the other way around. They ain't civilizing us. Listen, when the Moors invaded Spain, when the Moors invaded Spain, right, in the 7th century, black Moors ruled Italy, Portugal, Spain. During their rule for 700 years, they built Europe's first universities. They taught white Europeans how to bathe, how to be sanitary, right? All these things, right? Introduced them to seasonal clothing, weather changes, right? They built the sanitation, right? Build castles. A lot of things that these white Europeans like to lie to themselves about they created. No. Now, at the same time, look, there's another book. It's called Dirt. Right, it's a accurate historical of how life was in England and France, right? And it's the relationship between, and the reason why it's called Dirt, because of the church. The church had white Europeans living in filth, because they told the people that they cannot be clean because then they're going to be too boastful and they're going to feel like they're gods. So that's why you had the Black Plagues, all these different plagues. It is because the church created and wiped out the memory and created a nations of people that have severe mental illness that was living in filth, right? Listen, go and get the book. It's called Dirt. Read the shit. Right. This is a book called Dirt. That's what I'm talking about. Right? You see, it's the reason why Europeans from those nations, that when they came, when they went into Africa, into the Americas, that they were able to do what they did to the indigenous people and to African people. Because you got to have a sick mind to do what it is that they do. And even to this day, they try to justify it. Right? So even to this day, they try to justify it. Right? And when you know the truth about who you are, they're going to attack you. And the sad thing about it too is that Negropeans, who I call DANS, right, which is our people, right, the majority of them, I call DANS, right, which means dumbass Negropeans.
That's terrible.
Okay. Wow. Now the reason why I say that, okay, is because they have been made dumb. And anybody that comes to speak to them and tell them the truth and show them love, they fight against. You understand? Because they think that morality comes from the Bible and God. But I always tell them, right, if morality comes from the Bible and God, why did Moses flee from Egypt? Why did his brother flee from Egypt? If the Egyptians was living with no morality,
well,
right?
It became corrupt.
No,
Many centuries.
No, bro. Nah. No. There's no such thing as witchcraft. Where did you get?
Got into all of that.
Listen. You're using terms that European gave us to demonize our culture. Okay? My brother,
the Bible talks about one God.
My brother,
one God says,
where did that God come from?
That God came from the beginning of creation. He has no beginning and he has no end. It's only one.
But your God can't just be a he. You okay? Okay. All right.
The masculine energy of creation.
You can't have a masculine energy of creation. You gotta have feminine. In every look at nature. Can you reproduce without a woman?
What are you talking about? He's God. Of course he can.
No, you can't.
Yes, he can.
No, you can't.
He can do anything.
No, he can't.
What he can't do is fail.
No, you can't. Yes, you will.
No,
because that God ain't true.
What are you talking about? You kidding
Let me give you an example. Go look up. Go read the book called Canaanite and Hebrew.
What's the first nation mentioned in the Hebrew scriptures of the Bible?
I get enough here. Listen.
Can you do that? Can you tell me the first nation mentioned in the Hebrew Bible?
My brother,
because it still exists.
Life started in the Congo.
So you can answer the question.
Life. I can answer the question. You talk about the Israelites?
No, man.
Oh, the Canaanites?
Man, see,
Tell me.
It's Ethiopia, bro.
Ethiopia? Brother.
Read the first few books, man, and tell me why you talking about Ethiopia in this Bible.
Did you know that all of Africa was called Ethiopia?
Oh, man.
Did you know that? Excuse me.
You know,
See?
where Mali was.
No.
Ethiopia
All the
was
entire
called.
Ethiopia was entire Africa was called
It wasn't,
Ethiopia.
because Ethiopia is not the real name.
If I see
Ethiopia.
if I see it the next time, I'll give you the historical document. No, I'll show you.
It wasn't called Ethiopia.
Listen, I'll show you. The whole thing was called or better yet, Akabula.
It was called Kush.
Kush is Sudan, my brother. Kush is Sudan. Right? It's in the south of Egypt. Also called Nubia. Also called Nuba. My brother, take care. Like, what did I say? Undercover Negropean Christian. What did I say, man? Let me tell you, I know them so well, and I know how to bring it out of them. They are so conditioned with this whole God thing, right? Without understanding who their God is. Your God, Jehovah, right, was morphed from other ancient gods. You know, you got to go read the history, man. These small groups of people with their own God, right? Because there were many gods, and this group would pick this God, that group would pick this God, and they would fight among each other. Who would win? Then their God would absorb the power of the other group's God. So your God Yahweh was actually what they call a volcano God. That's why, you know, you always talk about the burning bush and thunder and lightning, because the people who were experiencing volcano eruptions, right? They named it whatever their God they named it. Just as you have the Moabites and their God who defeated Jehovah. It's in your Bible. It's in your Bible. But you know, when I bust the New York Credit Department, they start using their sirens, right? He's talking about the first nation, nation of people was Ethiopian. I'm like, my brother, please, man. You know, go look at the geographical evidence and the archaeological evidence, right? Not some God you're talking about creating this and that. You know what I'm saying? See, I love my people, man, but Negropeans, dumbass Negropeans, they're going to continue to fail just as how their God continue to fail, right? I'm telling you, religion is one of the greatest weapon against the minds of black people. Religion is one of the greatest weapons. So all they talk about their God, look at China. China don't believe in their God. And China is what? Look, he's looking at my watch. As I walk past, now look at my watch, I'm sorry, looking at my phone. You're looking at my phone. As soon as I walk past, you still look at my phone. Right? So look at China. Look at Japan. Right? See what's happening in the Middle East is because of people with their religious belief, that they are willing to destroy the world for their delusional belief about their Jesus going to come back. You know what I'm saying? You have to be very careful with these people because they will engage in all sorts of crime against you in order to convert you into their Christian religion. And like I said, if you want to convert me to Christianity, that's not the way to do it. That is not the way to do it. Right? Because we know religion have been used to convert people to the form of violence, not love. So when they talk about God, say love everybody, that's all bullshit. How can you say that? When the Europeans who gave you Christianity, at least this version of Christianity, strung your ancestors up, kidnap us, right? And they're preaching about their God. Okay? And you turn around and you claim that their God is your God. But their God keeps showing you that he is not your God. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? Because all they talk about promised people and chosen people, but you're not chosen to live life in a way that is productive and constructive. Right? again, like I said, one of the greatest examples against their God is China, Japan, South Korea, Malaysia, where they have the most skilled workers. Negropeans love to talk about their God. Right? I used to be the same way too. Right? But their God ain't shit. And I can say that because we as black people, we're at the bottom of society. And we're the most believers in this God. Right? So, every generation of people will talk about God. And God is coming and this and that. And in order for them to make you believe it, they have to create things and orchestrate things to keep you under their control. Okay? So while Negropeans are talking about, it's Armageddon in the Middle East and God is, no, it is greedy ass wealthy people who are seeking to take another people's land for the oil. Now what's going to happen when they go back to try to recolonize Africa because they want to take the gold and the diamonds and the cobalt, right? And the plutonium and the uranium, right? Are you going to go fight for them to recolonize Africa and enslave your ass again? Come on now. They can't debate. They can't debate because they start talking bullshit. So when I told them that, all of Africa used to be called Ethiopia, oh no, yeah, Africa, it was Ethiopia and East Ethiopia, which is India, right? Then, they don't even understand. There's words like, there's African name like Akabulan, right? Which is another name for Africa, right? So they don't understand the name Africa comes from the Roman emperor. All right? And you talk about Kush. You don't even know what Kush is. Ask them where's Kush. Ask them where's Nubia. They don't know. Ask them where's Canaan. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? So they read the Bible without reading anything else and think that they're expert. You're not an expert. As little as I know, I'm more of an expert than you. All right? So when I ask him, I say, who created the Big Bang Theory? All right, so then he's going to go look that shit up. Good, look it up. All right, who's the father of genealogy, the genetic studies? Then you're going to go look that up. See, what the Roman Church have done is that they took all the knowledge and they gave it to the Europeans, the wealthy Europeans, and they had that knowledge. And they use that knowledge to create things, to conquer, to enrich themselves, right? But it's all the same thing. It is about using belief system to indoctrinate the majority of people while the very few reap the reward and benefit, while promising you a good life in heaven, while you catching hell here on earth, right? If they wanted to get rid of poverty, they could. If they wanted to raise the minimum wage to a living wage, they could. They just choose not to. Why? Because of their mindset. The dark tribe mindset. The dark tribe mindset is sadistic in nature, and what they have done is transfer that mindset within people within the society, particularly religious believers. That's why they can say, well, it's justified that, Donald Trump bomb Iran, without understanding the history. Without understanding that most, like, white Europeans, right, also were a product of the people, the Asian people that lived in Iran. They don't even know that. Right? You know what I'm saying? There's so much admixture that happened when Africans move out of Africa and migrate across the world. And, environmental adaptation came in, genetic mutation came in, right? Not superiority, but genetic recessive mutation in order to survive certain climates. So they don't even understand that, right? So yeah. The one thing that I love is the fact that they think that they can get away with what it is that they're doing. That's what I love. I love the fact that they're so stupid enough to think that they're going to get away with what it is that they're doing, right? That's why I call them dumbass Negropeans, because they're stupid to believe that they're going to get away with what it is that they think they're going to get away with, or what it is that they're doing. Like I said, truth is their enemy. And any black man that shows any kind of love for their people, or any black woman that shows any kind of love for their people, they're going to attack, and they will get the DANS, the dumbass Negropeans, to do it. Oh, well, he's not Christian or whatever, what have you. Look at Mandani. He's not a Christian, but he's pushing for a living wage for people, not just black people, for everybody, right? He's pushing to take over some of these buildings by these slumlords who have our people living in some of the worst conditions, particularly our women. Like I said, there's a reason why they create a gender war. But y'all gonna soon learn. Okay, I keep saying, you believe in your God, guess what? Your God sent me to show you guys the truth. That's why my purpose is greater than theirs. All right, let me put it in the biblical sense for you. The devils have taken over the church. They have taken over society, right? And the anointed people, they're attacking. The people that come to tell you the truth. Just like your Jesus, but it isn't just one person. You see, the Roman church gave you one person to look for. One God, right? There is no creation without the feminine divine and the masculine divine. And that's with all other belief systems except for Christianity and Judaism. And these are the two last religion that has become the two biggest religions today. All right? Anyhow, they can make all the noise they want. They can make all the noise they want. But it's not going to stop me from fulfilling my purpose, which is to keep speaking the truth and exposing them for what it is that they're doing, right? The reason why we have this destruction in the Middle East is because of greedy white men who want to control everyone, who want to profit off of everyone, while the majority of people suffer. They have committed some of the worst crimes against humanity, and we love them because they have money. Okay? Who's the clown? Who's the dumbasses? Right? Like I said, I'm for anybody that speaks the truth, no matter their religion, no matter their age, no matter their sex. Right? You go to my YouTube page, you'll see I post stuff from women who are Christian, men who are Christian, because at least they have some understanding when it comes to some social issues, and they speak on those things, and I support them for that. All right? Now, when they talk about religious shit, I don't really pay attention to that. But if they're giving you truth and telling you what's going on, you could listen. Just like if it was a person who believed in Islam. If they're telling you the truth about what's going on in society, you should listen. All right? See, like I said, they always talk about love and just this and that, but these are the most hateful people. This is why they're always at war. They're always in conflict, because they are the most hateful, while masquerading in their religion as if it's about peace. Religion is never about peace. Again, when you look at how religion came about, it's always about war. It is always about wanting to control one group over another. This is why they don't want you to understand your spiritual system, your African spiritual system, right? Because without it, we wouldn't have math, science, all these things. See, the Africans, right, the man and the woman, observed nature. They wrote things down. They studied just like I do in terms of my targeting. This is how I can expose what it is that they're doing, because I'm using my African spirituality to expose what's going on. They're using religion to hide their crimes, to get you to commit crimes against other groups of people and try to justify it because God approve it. How are they to speak for God? Your very own Bible tell you that God do not speak to us anymore. So why do they keep on bringing up God told them this and God told them that? Read your Bible. All of it. Question it. Look at their actions to what comes out of their mouth. And anytime they see you trying to do good, and because you're not Christian, then guess what? Right? That is a blow to their belief system. That only people who believe in their God have morality. But like I mentioned to them, I said, listen, if they claim the Egyptian didn't have any morality, then why did Aaron flee Egypt? Oh, because he corrupted in witchcraft. I'm like, witchcraft? I'm like, my brother, you're using terms given to you by our oppressors. You're using terms that was used because European women, right, who had been handed down the knowledge of certain plants, herbs, that is used for healing. And because misogynistic, psychopathic white men, European men, right, were jealous that they could heal, and the church, that these women were healing people, they call them witches and practicing witchcraft. Religion is about ignorance and stupidity. And it's time my people wake the fuck up. This is why I mentioned Marcus Garvey. In the 1920s, Marcus Garvey was talking about who Africans were. Right? And they will always attack those and get those amongst us to attack each other when we're speaking the truth. But like I said, what happened when you wake up one day and realize by what it is that they're doing, that your ass has also been microchipped? Because now they're going to show you just how much control they have over you. And there isn't a damn thing you can say. Because what? Because you've participated in destroying other people's lives. So now when they show you just exactly that your ass is also microchipped and have been manipulated, then what? Then what? A people without knowledge is like a tree without the roots. Okay? And your Bible tell you that the priests have taken away knowledge from the people. They have made the people dumb. Right? My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge because they have rejected the truth. There you go. So you could talk about you know, Jesus was the truth and the light, but your ass love lies. And when you're being told the truth, you want to attack it. So don't come with that bullshit about Jesus and God. Please save that shit to when you go to church and amongst your other people. Right? I know better. When you know better, you do better. When you're ignorant, you're going to follow orders because those in positions of power knows exactly what type of mindset they've created within you, which is the believer's mindset. And go look that up. Go look up the believer's mindset and how those in authority position uses those people that have that mindset for their own advantage. All right? Talk to you guys in the next video.